Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Uh, hi. I'm still preening. Let me preen. There's Hattie. Can you guys hear me? How's my sound? How's my light? How's everything looking? Can hear me? Okay. Hi, everyone. So welcome. Happy October. Yes, Pink Spider Woman going on here. Hi. So happy October. I wanted to do a little live stream today because we have so much new content that is releasing out into the world. Yeah, spooky season is here. It's official. This morning on, Patreon, I released the Stanwick Dress, which is a bodice that goes with the Stanwyck Skirt from Charm Patterns. So I've been thinking about this for a while. I mean, there's so many great vintage dresses that have like a pencil skirt with a pocket. So I feel like it was kind of inevitable that we would do a Stanwyck bodice expansion. But it all kind of came together for Halloween, which I was really excited about. The sort of first inspiration for the project was this dress from Alden's catalog from 1955. Are you guys familiar with this dress? Because it will like pop up on Instagram and Etsy every now and then, and it's like $800, and it's a sheath dress with shaped pockets like the Stanwyck skirt, and it was made in taffeta and linen with this like cording spider web embellishment on it. So I have been thinking about it for years, and it was this year, now that we're doing Patreon, I'm like, this is the perfect time. So the first dress I made was this one. Whoa, that changes the color. Was this teal one, which is made in get that out of here, a linen look fabric from Joann's. I really like the sort of like matte linen look. So I started experimenting with spiderweb embellishment, and oh my gosh, you guys, this project was like all about testing, because I didn't know how to do Melisha, I will never forget the conversation we had when I showed you the picture of the dress and you were like, do you know how to do that? And I was like, I don't know how to do any of this. I'm like just making it all up as I go along, especially with embellishment techniques, like looking at vintage. Like I love this stuff, guys, to like look at vintage photos and come up with the technique. So, I mean, it brought me back to doing like the Stanwix skirt embellishments we did in April, and just sort of like looking at a vintage photograph and sort of like working backwards to say, how can I do that? And then, so I did a million tests, everyone, a million. I tried it with yarn. The first thing I tried was yarn because I have so much yarn because I'm an avid knitter now, apparently. So I tried yarn. I tried macrame cord. I tried soutache, which I think is what the original dress is made in, but it's quite difficult to work with. So you guys will thank me. I tried soutache, and what else did I try? I can't remember. I tried a bunch of different presser feet. I tried a bunch of different threads, changing my tension, different stabilizers. So the first thing I figured out was the embellishment method. And I was having pretty much the time of my life because I was just like, this is what I need to be doing every day, is like sewing spider webs, like figuring out how to sew spider webs. And yeah, it was very exciting for me. And it's always funny, like I know I'm talking like a mile a minute right now, but it's always really exciting for me because you guys have like no idea what's going on. And if we connect like in a live stream or whatever, I'm just like, oh, I'm just like working on next month's Patreon. And like, there's like 18 spiderweb samples around me. And I'm like, just sort of like mad scientist over here with my spider webs. So I finally landed on a technique with satin rat tail cord, which is super easy to find. Like you can get it at Joann's, Michael's. I ended up ordering mine from this place called Fire Mountain Gems or something like that. So yeah, it is rat tail. So that was what I landed on. I used an invisible thread on this one, so you can, it sort of like floats on the top, and it like it's couched, and then just different different beading techniques. So I probably really wrinkled my skirt now, but so there's one, you can see the shaped pockets here, and then a second big spider web on the skirt. Ooh la la, oh yes. Very much feeling myself today. So the first one I made was the teal one, which shall not be brought back into my light. And yeah, the other way I work is that I always make one full sample before we do photographs, before we do videography, any of that stuff. Because I need to know that I can sew it start to finish successfully. I don't understand people who like sew the first sample on camera. Like I can't. So that's why I make the first one on my own. I have a full sample, we photograph, and then I make a second one on camera. And the challenge of that is always like, what's going to show up on camera and what will work well for demonstrating the technique. So I wanted to do something really different for my on-camera one. So I was thinking, what about like bubblegum shocking pink for this one? So this fabric, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just so into myself. I mean, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Am I right? Can I get an amen? So this fabric is a little fancier than the Joann's linen look. It's a silk matka, which is like a raw silk. I'm getting all the amens. Amen. It's a raw silk with like a linen texture, and it comes in so many gorgeous colors. I got it from a place called New York Designer Fabrics, and they shipped like the next day, and I got it the day after that. It was fabulous. So that's what I did for this one. So that's the conception of the spiderweb versions. And then I was thinking for Patreon, so I decided that the embellishment was going to be on YouTube, and that's what we're premiering at 5:30 today. So we're going to be premiering the embellishment of the spider webs. And then I wanted to have another version for Patreon, which was just going to showcase the dress itself, not the embellishments. So that's how the plaid one came to be. I was thinking, let's do something totally different and show it in like an autumnal plaid. And then, because I cannot just like leave well enough alone, I was like, we also need a collar. This month was so ambitious, like content wise. I can't even tell you guys just the amount of work that went into this month. Hopefully it shows, because it was like a lot of video, a lot of instruction writing, but mostly a lot of video, a lot of photography. Yeah, it was a crazy month. So I decided, because I was thinking about making it in this plaid, and I was thinking about it with the plaid with like a plain neckline, and I was like, yeah, but what if it were like a Wednesday Addams kind of thing? I don't know why I sort of had like the Addams Family on the brain like early this year, like earlier than usual. And I actually never watched the TV series. So I went like in a deep dive into the Addams Family, the original 1964 TV series, and got into anything and everything Wednesday and Morticia Addams. And so I came up with this removable collar, and the way it works is really fun. Here's the one I made on camera for the Patreon video. It gets sewn to a facing that like goes to the inside of the dress. Oh, that's terrible. It goes to the inside of the dress and buttons in. So you put buttonholes on the facing, and then put buttons inside the neckline. So yeah, I know. I like always do this to myself. I'm like, I'm almost about to die. Why not add another deadline for myself? But I don't know. Once I get a little bee in my bonnet, I just have to do it. So we did the plaid dress for Patreon. And then we had Susie come up and model. Is Susie in the house? I wanted to show Susie wearing the Stanwyck circle skirt in felt, which we did a YouTube tutorial for in April, and show, there she is. Hey, Susie. So I wanted to show the spiderweb embellishment on the felt Stanwyck skirt. So she modeled that for us. And I was like, well, what's she going to wear with it? And I thought it would be a great opportunity to highlight some of our past designs on a different model. And we made Susie a Rita blouse in like a Ponte knit with a sheer spiderweb bishop sleeve. And the bishop sleeve was an expansion for Patreon in April as well. So, oh, and the photo shoot, oh my gosh, do we really only have 16 more minutes? I have so much to tell you guys. So the photo shoot we did in a cemetery, which was always kind of my plan. I love cemeteries. And we were looking at like Greenpoint Cemetery in Brooklyn, which is a famous, gorgeous, you know, historical cemetery, and like trying to get permission to shoot there. And then one day I just kind of, in Newburgh, where the studio is, I just drove by this creepy old cemetery. I got to turn the AC off, or you guys gonna you're not going to be able to hear me very well. So I drove, this cemetery is crazy, guys. It's from the 1700s. All the gravestones are like, they're like all over the place. Like the earth has shifted, and like has this old sort of like Egyptian style mausoleum. And it's just really cool. And I ended up talking to the Newburgh city historian and well, I didn't even need permission, because she was like, well, it's a public place, you can just go in there and shoot, but you know, it's a place of rest. Don't bother anyone. And I was like, oh, we're going to be very respectful, because that's like, you know, a big thing for me. Like, I don't want to, you know, make a mockery of the people who are buried there, obviously. So I wanted to make it really like glamorous and just very very beautiful. So we had a lovely afternoon shooting in the cemetery. We had amazing light. It was just a great day of shooting. So people were rolling through and chilling in the cemetery. Yeah, so it was a really great shoot. And what else can I tell you? Do you guys have questions? What we're watching tonight on YouTube in 14 minutes is the premiere for the spiderweb embellishment. If you would like the bodice pattern and the collar pattern, you're going to need to be a Patreon member at the $7 tier or above. And we do new content like this every month. So on the first of every month, you get a new project. And the skirt part of the dress is from Charm Patterns. It's called the Stanwix Skirt, and it has a full circle skirt. It has many different pocket options, waistband options, a pinafore. So you can already make 81 different skirts with the Stanwix Skirt, and now the bodice expansion basically gives you dress options as well. So, yeah, I mean, one thing I love about what we're doing on Patreon is that it gives us an opportunity to go back to charm patterns that we've done and say, like, Stanwyck would work really well as a dress. Let's just issue this as expansion and have fun with it. So it's just been like very creatively satisfying for me, I think, to be able to have a quick idea, you know, like, I would really love to do that Alden's dress for Halloween this year, and to have a platform to do it and to turn it around quickly and have, you know, an amazing team and models and a photographer and, you know, Melisha, our assistant designer, who is like helping me make this happen. So, I mean, I can't say enough good things about Patreon and just the way that we're able to work like this. So, any questions? I know I've been talking so fast. Best Patreon in the world. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so I'm super happy with how the bodice came out. It has this little cap sleeve, which is like cut on. And then it has waist darts and bust darts. And as usual, it comes in the A through H cup sizes that we do at Charm. And where did I get the fab gloves in the photos? Oh my gosh, you guys, that's been like the #1 question of the day. So those gloves were by Dita Von Teese in collaboration with a glove maker. They are one of the most expensive items of clothing that I own. So I'm a little hesitant to tell you guys, but that was a good purchase because I have used it twice now in photo shoots. The princess coat, you remember the one where I was like in the coat with the bell sleeves and like holding Hattie and with the fabulous gloves. So I've worn them twice for photo shoots. They're tax deductible, so worth it. But I will say, you can just Google like opera length leather gloves or vegan leather gloves, faux leather gloves, whatever you're looking for. I know someone said Micheline Pitt has a version. So yeah, there's plenty of options out there. Any other questions? Did I do one with a full skirt? No, I mean, surprisingly, there was not time to do any additional ones, but I'm excited to see other people do the full skirt. And I did have an idea for a full skirt one I wanted to do. And now it's gone. Are the darts the same as the picnic top? Can we rely on our previous adjustments? They're very similar. They may be slightly different because they're different styles. The picnic top has sort of like a boxier fit right here. So I haven't done like a 1-to-1 comparison for each cup size and each dress size for those darts. But you can by taking the new pattern and putting it down over the old one and just comparing them. But I will tell you that if they're not exactly the same, they're going to be very, very similar. They might be in slightly different positions. A lot of what we did for this one was to get that waist dart to line up perfectly with the pocket seam, right? So we had to do a little reworking there to get that to work exactly. So there may have been a slight shift of dartage. That's not a word. Darts. But yeah, check it out. Just put one on top of the other, and I'm sure that you can use your old adjustments as a guide in any case. Yeah, so let's see, anything else? Any more questions? Oh, that's a good question. Any fabric not to use that we would otherwise use for Stanwyck alone? Yeah, so for the Stanwyck skirt, you know, we did recommend things like heavier bottom weights, like twill, canvas, denim. And for the dress, I would say I would like grade down to like more medium weight bottom weights if you're going to use a bottom weight, because you still want like a nice drape and you want it to look like cardboard on the bodice. So definitely like more medium weight. If you're going to do this pocket, I would say avoid anything that has too much drape to it too. You're kind of looking for like a happy medium. This silk matka, I can't wait to sew with it again. It worked really well. And this suiting is actually a bamboo and wool blend from B&J Fabrics. And I loved working with that one too. And it photographed beautifully. Like it just has this really soft drape to it. So if you can find bamboo and wool suiting, I would definitely check it out. Oh, I should mention too that this one has the curved pocket rather than this shaped pocket. Ooh, and I did like a lavender charmeuse lining on this one. Isn't that fun? Oh, and the other great thing about the Patreon video is that I show you how to sew this dress from, I'm not going to say start to finish, because I kind of start with it on YouTube and do the embellishment, and then I have the pieces embellished when I start on Patreon. So I do show you how to line the bodice, how to sew the pencil skirt, which is a little tricky. It has a pocket stay, which kind of holds everything together in the front. You know how if you have a pencil skirt with pockets, the pockets can like gape open. This skirt has a piece that goes across the entire front in the lining fabric. And so it keeps everything contained in the front and from like spilling open. So I show you how to sew the pocket stay and the pockets, and how to do the back kick pleat on the skirt and the back lapped zipper. So, oh, and my clean finish method with the bodice lining, which I always teach in my workshops. So it almost killed me making this video, Melisha can tell you. But I feel like it was worth it because, or it'll be worth it for you, I hope, because you're going to get a lot of things that you would normally get, like if you took a weekend retreat with me. So hopefully you'll find that really helpful. And then there's a second video on just sewing the collar. So I broke them up into two separate videos. How did I like working with the linen blend that can't come back on screen? You know, it's funny. Joanne's calls it linen look, but it's really like a linen blend, like you said, Maren. It's like rayon linen blend. You know, I didn't like it as much as the matka. I wish I had just worked with the matka in the beginning, but it's definitely more budget friendly, so that's nice. It was a little bit more of a struggle to keep it very smooth. What you'll learn in the embellishment video is that you really have to stabilize the area to keep the spider web from puckering a lot around it. And so I just had a little more trouble with that on the linen look. It doesn't, you know, I honestly wish I had either gone for like just polyester linen look or gone upgraded to the silk matka. I just felt like it's a little more like earthy looking than I really wanted to go for. All right, so can I show the back of the dress I have on? Not really, because I don't really have good length for it, but there are back photos of the plaid one. So you can see, oh, it's pinned on her. She's like a little smaller than me, but you can see the back on Patreon. You can see the whole back and the kick pleat down there. So sorry, I just don't have enough length here to really show you the whole thing. All right, everyone. So actually, we only have 4 minutes until the premiere starts. So I'm going to tell you guys to go over, get your popcorn, get your Coke Zero, go over to my channel and click the premiere and join us there. The premiere is really fun. I'm going to be live chatting with you guys through the entire thing. So you'll have the opportunity to ask more questions there too. So let's go. No more Coke Zero. I've only had one and 3 cups of coffee. All right. Bye, everyone. I'll see you in just a minute. Mwah. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.